Hello you, it's me. It's the 2nd of August and this is the first video in a series where I try and walk the entire coast of the UK. It's going to be in bits. I'm going to do it as and when I can because there's no way you can get like 2 years off work to walk the whole thing at once. So today's is going to be starting at Lytham and walking around the Fylde to Blackpool, hopefully ending up at Blackpool North. Maybe if we can get further than that, do what we can. So the place I'm choosing to start today is a little rivulet called Main Drain. Spin the camera around. This thing here, it is the very last piece of water that dumps out into the Ribble estuary. Just on the south side over there in the very distance you can see the beginnings of Southport. So this is sort of where estuary becomes coast. The Wikipedia page says that the Ribble ends at Lytham and Southport, so just go by Wikipedia. On the other side of us today we have the RNLI station, at Lytham Windmill, which is lovely. So I don't think I'm going to film the whole thing with the GoPro strapped to my chest, but I will get the camera out and take some nice bits of video of the stuff I come across on the way. And I hope you enjoy walking with me. So I guess let's crack on and see how far we can get in a day. Definitely chose the right day to do this. It's a beautiful morning. Coat off already. It's going to be a scorcher today. I've come down off the pavement because you can't flat ground it the whole way. How boring. We're going off road. Feel like we should get a little bit closer to the water. Might see some cool stuff. Anyway, before we left the pavement up there, we were just coming out of Lytham and going into Lytham St Anne's on the Sea. And you can just see, well, I don't know if you can, that the Fylde, this bit of the UK coast that sticks out kind of in an oblong shape, just starting to curve round there. But we are estuary still. Anyone that lives near an estuary will know that means mud. Luckily it's sunny, so it's not too gross and wet. somebody lose a boat. Oop. Yeah, the sun's behind us, so until it swings around, you're going to be treated to my dummy thick shadow in every shot. I can see some lesser black gulls, I think. One very lonely oyster catcher. Some little things running up and down the tide line. Oh, there's a couple of oyster catchers. Some little things running up and down the tide line that I think might be dunlins or knots. And some black-headed gulls, but they're not black-headed at the moment. Or they are black-headed? Can't remember. They go black-headed either in the summer or the winter. Change the feathers around on their faces. Guess we'll try and catch a closer up glimpse of one and figure out which way it is. Oh, this is cool. This is some kind of samphire. Kind of tastes like asparagus a little bit, and they use it in fancy restaurants. Starting to get onto the big muddy sandy flats where the estuary dumps all its silt before it hits the sea. Some kind of tractor graveyard, I'm guessing, to pull all the boats out. I feel like you can probably tell where one town council ends and the other begins, because the fence changes. Interesting. See if I can get a shot of the sun without blinding everyone that's watching. Cool, look at that. Gorgeous. So this bit is apparently called Church Scar. There's lots of signs saying, "Don't go down on the beach," which is tempting me to go down on the beach. I'm assuming it's called Church Scar because of that old church. Maybe the beach warnings were a tide thing, because I can see a lot of seaweed chucked up at the bottom of this wall, so the tide really must come in quite close. Another one. What? You ever see the clip from Arthur where DW is? She sees a sign on the door that says "No DW." She's like, "That won't stop me because I can't read." Wonder who that sign's meant for. There's a lot of crows down there, so I feel like there must be something good to eat. Amphipods, ragworms, razor clams. Ah, it's Black Headed Gull down there, and it has a white face, so mystery solved. The next "Don't come down on the beach" sign I am going to flagrantly disregard. Fuck the police. Can't keep me out. Imagine if the next clip that I cut to just then was just like, "Help, I'm stuck, I'm in terrible danger." First shell of the day. some point, if we find a cool rock pool, I guess we're gonna test how waterproof this GoPro is. Steps now. That no access bit wasn't very long. Makes me feel much less naughty. Tell you what, it is hotter than the devil's spicy bunghole. Just seen some signs. This bit here where the sand sort of curves in then out again, it's called Granny's Bay. How cute is that? It's kind of cute. It's like a little lagoon, boating lake kind of thing. A goose! Oh, many geese. Lagoons are probably an important migratory stop-off point for geese and stuff. The district we are now sort of in is called Fairhaven. It's got its own sewage outlet. Lovely. I do think it's interesting that as I'm walking along the coast here, every very small stretches of beach have different names. I wonder what they're separated by. Maybe town councils, maybe little water runoffs. Maybe big areas of green like that one coming up ahead. Seems like a lot of tiny little beaches stuck together into one big beach. Do sort of feed back to me in the comments about whether you like me kind of flicking around filming different things, or whether you'd literally just like me to strap the GoPro to my chest and walk around without saying a word, like I have done in a couple of other videos. Yeah, it's always nice to know what people enjoy watching, so drop a comment. Don't know if you can see that there. That is an egret. Gorse thickets off to the right. In Wales they say, when the gorse is blooming, it's time for kissing. But there are 3 kinds of gorse in Wales, so there's always gorse flowers all year round. Kind of cheeky. Just taking a little detour, show you something cool. Spitfire, very cool. They're always smaller than you'd expect, but then you remember that they're just one-person planes, I guess. Look at all those chickens. We're off the path proper onto the sand dunes now. Things you wouldn't expect to find out in the sand dunes. Some nice big fat rose hips. Cool. The tide is actually out so far right now, I can't even see the water. Smells very briny, seaweedy around here. I feel like the tide must come up a very long way. So just stopped on top of this seawall to have a little drink, swap my GoPro battery out. That's the direction I've just come from, along the beach there, from Lytham. And we're going to walk along the seawall here, next to all these tiny little houses to get to Blackpool. But check this out. Tiny little railway. Tiny little trains. Could it be? If I see one, I'm going to pee my pants. Now these may look like tiny little sheds, but look up the rent prices of beachfront huts UK and you'll be absolutely disgusted. These cost thousands. Gonna go see what that strange wooden shape on the horizon is. just in the distance. I don't think you can see it yet, but there's just peeping over the top of the horizon the tip of Blackpool Tower and the top of a roller coaster called the Big One. So I think we're near the pleasure beach. I can just see the waves starting to break over there, which means it's gonna come in a bit. I think a beach this flat is gonna come in very quick. Razor clams. I'm aiming just for that very tip of the sand dune right at the end. I feel like I might have switched camera mode halfway through this video, but I guess we'll find out when I'm editing. Nearly there, and I think we'll just come up onto the seawall for a bit. Walk along the top. Properly in Blackpool now. You can see all the lights hanging. Well, I don't know if you can see. There's a lot of lights hanging up for the Blackpool illuminations that they do every year. So I figure this is a good place to end the first leg. I'm just at the end of Blackpool South here. Didn't quite make it to Blackpool North, but I'm just going by how much camera battery I have, and two have up and died on me. This one's nearly gone, so last legs, but we did a fair bit. So as soon as I can, I'll get on part 2. I'll start from Blackpool South Pier, try and make it as far as I can that way. So yeah, hope you join me for that, and I'll see you soon.